Want to know what financial freedom feels like? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. It's a beautiful morning and you're sitting by the window with a steaming cup of coffee. No rush, no stress, no deadlines. Just you, your thoughts, and complete freedom with your time. And it's closer than you think, but there's a catch. The real wealth drains aren't your daily lattes. They're the big ticket expenses society has normalized. Here's the truth. After age 50, these expenses cost you 3 times more in lost retirement time. While you're saving pennies, you're hemorrhaging thousands and years of your freedom. I know because I've been there. I used to think I needed all these normal expenses. But when I sat down and did the math, I realized I was trading my future freedom for temporary comfort. I made the tough choices, eliminated those expenses, and retired comfortably at 59. My colleagues who kept spending, well, they're still working. Today, I'm revealing expenses that can make a huge difference in your financial journey. These aren't small cuts. They're game changers that could be silently sabotaging your retirement dreams right now. And the best part, you don't have to give up everything you love. You just need to be intentional. So let's dive in. First on my list is household services. Things like housekeepers, lawn services, and handymen for small repairs. Now, I completely understand the appeal. After a long work week, who wants to spend their precious free time cleaning and mowing? And if you have physical limitations or truly hate certain tasks, this might be money well spent. But for me, I had to look honestly at my situation. Was I hiring these services because I needed to, or was I just avoiding a task I didn't enjoy? Turns out I was totally avoiding. When I calculated that I was spending about $4,000 a year on services I could do myself, I saw an opportunity. That money, invested over 10 years at around 7% return, could grow to over $55,000 for my retirement. That's potentially years of early retirement just for handling my own cleaning. So here's what I did instead. I kept a cleaning service for the deep cleaning once a year, something I struggled with, but I handled the regular cleaning myself. For yard work, I bought good quality ergonomic tools that made the job easier and found I really enjoyed the outdoor time. The compromise gave me both some convenience and significant savings. Plus, I got a bit of exercise in the process, a win-win. Imagine this. It's a Wednesday morning. The sun is streaming through your windows and your calendar is completely clear. No meetings, no deadlines, just a day that belongs entirely to you. That's the freedom I purchased with every floor I mopped myself. This next one might sting a little, but we need to talk about your collection. Whether it's rare coins, limited edition figurines, luxury watches, or vintage treasures. Many of us have something we are collecting, and collections can certainly bring joy and meaning to our lives. The problem comes when we convince ourselves they're also good investments for our retirement. But let's be honest. Most collections are expenses, not investments. I had a neighbor once who spent over $30,000 on sports memorabilia, genuinely believing it would fund part of his retirement. When he needed to sell years later, he only got about 60% of what he paid, and that's before considering what that money could have earned in a traditional investment account. I'll never forget the look on his face when he realized those carefully preserved items weren't going to provide the comfortable retirement he dreamed of. Instead, they'd become an expensive hobby that kept him working years longer than he'd planned. While some rare items do appreciate, most collections face challenges as investments. They typically underperform compared to index funds and can be difficult to sell quickly when you really need the money. Plus, trends can change dramatically, affecting their overall value. Now, this doesn't mean you should give up collecting things you love. My approach became to collect for pleasure and invest for retirement. Keeping these purposes separate has made both more enjoyable. So ask yourself, are you collecting treasures or trapping yourself in a cycle of work and stress? The real wealth isn't in the items you own, it's in the freedom you gain by investing wisely. This next one might sound familiar to many homeowners, accumulating equipment we use only occasionally. When I bought my first home, I started acquiring all sorts of tools and equipment. A pressure washer, a tiller, specialized garden equipment, and of course, a snowblower. Each purchase seemed justified at the time. After all, I'd used these items for years, right? The reality, most sat unused in my garage for months at a time. Between the initial costs, maintenance, and the valuable storage space they took up, those items were quietly draining my finances. I discovered that renting equipment when I needed cost a fraction of ownership. For items I used less than monthly, I started renting instead of buying. This approach saved me thousands of dollars and simplified my life. Plus, I always have access to the newest models without worrying about repairs or maintenance. The money I didn't spend went straight into my retirement accounts, working for me instead of sitting idle in my garage. Think about it. Would you rather have a garage full of tools you barely use or years of freedom to enjoy life on your terms? Now let's talk about self-care. And let me be clear, self-care is absolutely important, especially as we get older. But spa memberships can be a significant expense that might be draining your retirement funds. I used to have a $200 monthly spa membership. I justified it as necessary stress relief from my job. The irony? I realized each visit was actually extending my working years by delaying my retirement, creating more of the very stress I was trying to escape. Now, I didn't give up self-care entirely. I switched to occasional spa visits for special occasions and created relaxing at-home routines that cost a fraction of the price. These changes still gave me the relaxation that I needed while saving over $2,000 a year. Money that went straight toward funding my retirement. Think about it. Would you rather have a lifetime of spa days or the freedom to wake up every morning without an alarm, knowing your time is entirely your own? And remember, true self-care includes caring for your future self too. Many of us fall into the trap of constant technology upgrades. New phones, tablets, computers, and smart home devices that promise to make life easier, but often complicate our finances. I used to upgrade my phone every year and my computer every 2 years, convinced I needed the latest, greatest features. Each upgrade cost $800 to $1,500, and I was spending thousands annually staying current. This was especially true during my working years, when I thought I needed cutting-edge technology to stay competitive. But I noticed something interesting. My younger colleagues were always chasing new technology, while my most successful peers who were closer to retirement were much more selective about their upgrades. Here's the approach that worked for me. I extended my upgrade cycle to every 4 to 5 years for my primary devices. I focused on maintaining and optimizing what I had rather than replacing it. And when I was ready to purchase, I bought slightly older models rather than the latest, greatest that had just come out. Did I miss out on some new features? Sure. But the technology I had still did everything I needed it to do. Plus, honestly, most of the new features weren't really anything that I ever used. And the thousands I saved accelerated my retirement timeline significantly. The freedom to control my own time has proven far more valuable than having the latest gadget. I hope these ideas have given you some food for thought. Remember, this isn't about depriving yourself. It's about being intentional with your spending and aligning your money with what truly matters to you. Imagine waking up on a Tuesday, looking at your calendar, and seeing nothing but possibilities. No meetings, no deadlines, no commute, just a day that belongs entirely to you. That's what you're really purchasing when you cut these expenses and redirect that money to your retirement fund. My suggestion, start with just one of these expenses to eliminate this week. Calculate how much earlier you could retire just by cutting that one thing. I'd love to hear which one you chose. Every dollar you reclaim isn't just money, it's time. Time to spend with family, time for that hobby you've been putting off, time to finally live life on your terms. What about you? Have you cut any similar expenses to support your retirement goals? Or do you have other creative ways you found to save? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. My goal is to grow this channel to 50,000 subscribers and build a community where we can all learn from each other about retiring comfortably. Also, if you want to support more content like this, the Buy Me a Coffee link is in the description. Check out my Savvy Spending playlist for more ways to be more intentional with your spending.